Good morning, and welcome back to the show. Listen, I got to tell you, every time I say happy day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can't get it right. I mean, every time I woke up this morning, I kept saying, hey, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. But let me tell you something. It is Tuesday, and good morning to you. Happy February 27th. We are already closing out on the month of February, which is nuts because the new year just arrived, and it feels like every year is getting faster and faster. But we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the New York Jets and what they're doing with the backup quarterbacks, what they're doing with Aaron Rodgers, all the way down. We have NFL, we have NBA, we have a lot of things to catch up on today that you are going to love. But first things first, let's get right into it. The New York Jets right now are making some decisions, and I got to tell you the main conversation. People are like, if Aaron Rodgers is playing, great. If he's not playing, what's going to be the issue? Who are they going to have there? So I got to tell you something. Even though they love, the Jets fans, everyone out there loves Aaron Rodgers. They think he's great. And listen, he was a phenomenal talent. He's played for a long time. He's been great. But every time we talk about Aaron Rodgers, it comes up the injury again, right? Like this Achilles injury, what happened to him on the field, the problems that he had. But right now, the concern is, will Aaron Rodgers actually be on the field all season? And the people are worried. The Jets fans are worried. The organization is worried. So what are they doing? They're searching for a backup quarterback more than most people. Usually you have to have someone on roster. You got to make sure you have your backup. We have a third string quarterback. But the New York Jets really have to find that guy that can step in and be a starting quarterback. So the question is, how does Ryan Tannehill fit in the mold? And let's pull him up, Howard. Ryan Tannehill actually played receiver in college. People don't really know that. Got to the NFL. He only played 1 year at Texas A&M at the quarterback position. Gets to the NFL, plays for the Dolphins, plays good. I won't say great, but he played pretty good. Then he gets out, goes to the Titans, and the guy was phenomenal at first. People are like, man, Ryan Tannehill is pretty damn good, was leading the league in certain stats, was playing great. And it's like your time, the clock ticks. Your clock ticks. Ryan Tannehill right now already is ready like 35 years old. So the New York Jets right now, check this out. I actually got a reaction here for you. So listen, here's the thing. The New York Jets right now, they're trying to make things like changes, but again, like yesterday, it is so hard to find a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. People are not understanding that. When I get on here and I talk about the sportscast and the teams, we had all the teams, all the topics, but every team so far we keep talking about is like, wow, they have another quarterback who's late in his 30s. Aaron Rodgers is 40, right? Joe Flacco, 40 or pushing 40. Like all these quarterbacks are still around and they're still good. They're still talented. But the big question is for the New York Jets, will Ryan Tannehill have to be their quarterback for the season? Because I'm not too sure that Jet fans, and I mean this wholeheartedly and sincerely, I like Aaron Rodgers. He's been all over the media, been blasted a lot, obviously. And people kept saying, well, he's acting like a head coach and, they're running things through him like he's a GM. He's not a GM. He's a quarterback. But he's similar age to some of the coaching staff. So it's like the buddy system. And there's not that coach-player relationship. I said that before. And so realistically, I think they're kind of worried. Like right now, I got to tell you, the Jets have, if Ryan Tannehill comes in, the Jets have like a really old quarterback roster, right? Like they don't want Wilson there. Zach Wilson was in, he was benched, he's back, he's benched. He's just not loved out in New York. I'm sure he was a great guy and he had high hopes. It didn't work out. So Aaron Rodgers right now is backup. They're looking really high on Ryan Tannehill. I got to tell you, without overstepping and going crazy and making some false narrative and coming up with something that doesn't make sense, this could potentially be the New York Jets' future quarterback. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to make it up or come up with, jokes or, memes and things like that. I'm saying this, sincerely. I think Ryan Tannehill, he's talented. If he shows up and he goes to the Jets, people are like, well, I don't know. He's getting older too. Then he leaves the Titans and he's another backup quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is not too bad. He wasn't my ultimate selection. But if he goes right now and plays for the New York Jets, I got to tell you something. There's an opportunity for him to be the starter. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to last all season. I truly don't believe that. I think a couple hits, not just because last season, he's just getting older. 40 years old, you start getting hit, getting banged up. I think Ryan Tannehill comes into the game a little bit. We're going to see here during preseason if Ryan Tannehill signs there. This is still a big if, but they're high on him. If he goes there and he goes through preseason, do not be shocked if you see Ryan Tannehill becoming the future quarterback of the New York Jets. I'm saying it right now, just like I have the next conversation, we're going to talk about Saquon Barkley and a few other running backs. I called that, and now Dallas is high on Saquon Barkley. I'm telling you right now, write this down. It is very close. Ryan Tannehill could become the future quarterback of the New York Jets for the long term. But let's move on right now to the conversation with the top running backs in the free agent market. Okay, so a lot of, I talk about this frequently too. A lot of teams in the NFL, all the organizations, around the freaking country, every single team, I'll pull up on the map in a second. Every single team, as they move forward, has kind of passed on running backs. They said, they're not worth as much anymore. You need a good running back. Don't get me wrong. You need an every down back. You need a guy you can dump the ball off to, some swing routes, some little screen passes, a guy can run the lead draw, even, in between the tackles. You need all that. The problem is their lifespan in the NFL, right? Their NFL career span is pretty damn short compared to receivers and other quarterbacks. And I'm not talking about if they're good or not. I'm just talking about injuries. Running backs, they get hurt more. They get hit every practice. I did it my whole life. In high school, you get hit every single play. And if you fake it to you still get hit and you get tackled. And then you get to college and you get hit every play. And you have double sessions. You have triple sessions. You get tackled all the time. They fake it to you. The linebacker still tackles you just in case you got the ball, right? So it's a position where you're getting hit all the time. So you don't have a lot of years. You got 2, 3 years, maybe 4, and then that's the average span. And you have some guys that play elite for a long time. It's very rare, and those guys are talented. But here's the thing. We got some top running backs on the boards right now. They're heading into free agency, right? Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I mean, these guys are running backs you want on your roster. If you're going to play a running back, you're going to put a running back in the game. Listen, these are the guys you want. And they're in free agency process right now. They're going to be stepping into that. People are going to want to pick them up. They're not getting the franchise tag. Saquon Barkley is not getting the franchise tag. People are like, oh, he might get the franchise tag. We might keep him there. That's not happening right now. The Giants are leaving him Lone Ranger. Look, I like Derrick Henry. Great player. Watched him run people over for years. Josh Jacobs, another big-time running back. And the reason why these guys are so good is they're built like running backs. They're not little guys out there getting banged up and getting hurt. I mean, they get injured naturally because of football, but these are big guys. They run people over. They break tackles. They run through arm tackles. They stiff arm people. They make plays. They're the running backs you want on your roster. But here's the thing, and Howard pulled it up for us. This is the major focus that I have right now with the New York Giants, with the running back position, people in the NFL. This is the major focus. Saquon Barkley. Why? Because this is the kind of guy you want on your team. And I know he had an injury, knee injury, but it was ACL. He had some issues with that. Obviously, recovering from that knee injury is not easy. I understand. But Saquon Barkley is the ideal prototype running back. Now, obviously, if he's not healthy, just like I talked about before, he's not worth shit, right? If you're not on the field, you're not worth shit. Said about Burrow. I mean, all that money, $275 million. If you're not on the field, you're not worth shit. But Saquon Barkley is that running back that people are looking to. Last season, he had another good season. Before that, another good season. And then a couple of little roller coaster rides because the Giants weren't playing that well. But I had said this a million times. Saquon Barkley to the Cowboys is the best bet. The Cowboys have Tony Pollard, who he's going to be a free agent. He's their guy. Ever since Ezekiel Elliott was gone, they've been looking at Saquon Barkley for a while. I've been saying this now since about a year and a half time right now. Excuse me. You will see, I'm telling you, Saquon Barkley to the Cowboys is the best move. They need to run back. I think they should keep Tony Pollard and bring Saquon Barkley out to the Dallas Cowboys. That's the best bet because then you get your Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott type of combination. You got your scat back guy who can third down, screen pass, run, different things outside, zone plays, tosses. And then you can also have Saquon Barkley for inside the box. You got inside runs, you got lead draws, all kinds of cool things that he can do. And you get a dynamic duo. Having one running back right now in the NFL, just one major running back, isn't the way anymore. It's the new era. And I got to tell you, Saquon Barkley and the Dallas Cowboys, that is the ultimate conversation people should be looking at right now. And if he goes there, the Dallas Cowboys can level up and they should keep Tony Pollard on roster for the dynamic duo. But moving on, speaking of the new era, okay, I have something I'm going to talk about here. The new era to get an NCAA scholarship. These players right now in high school that are looking to go to college, play in the NFL as their career. They're looking to play football for a long time. I get it. I did it. You're excited about it. You think it's always going to be on the table. But the first things first is getting that scholarship, getting to the right team you want to get to. So I'm going to dial into that for a second because if you look at the map, right, there's tons of schools. You don't have to be the number 1 prospect. You don't have to be the number 2 prospect. You don't have to be the number 20 prospect. If you play running back, right, in high school football, and you're a top player in your state, I'm going to break it down for you truthfully. If you're not one of the top players in your state, and I'm talking top 20, top 30 in your state, chances are you don't have these big-time offers. I'm talking in your state. Doesn't mean you can't go somewhere, but to have a big-time offer like one of these schools. I'm going to go into right now the scholarship situation. The new era of all these teams, I'm just breaking this down for people right now. If you're in high school and you're watching this, This is a new era. You need game tape. You always needed that. You need people, obviously, you need to have stats. Always needed that. The next thing is social media. College coaches, they used to visit all the teams and they still go visit high schools. But social media is the way right now. If you're playing high school football right now, it doesn't have to be football. It could be any damn sport. But you need your social media. You need highlight clips. You need tapes. You need to produce that. You need to show people what you're doing. You need to send it in. My high school coach did a lot for me. He made clips. He made game tape. He uploaded it. But you have to be the featured guy all the time to get all those clips in the media, in the press, in the newspapers, and all your local papers. That's so important. But if you're watching this right now and you want to go to one of these top teams and you're like, hey, how do I get a scholarship? I see this all the time. High school kids looking to get to the college level and play. I use football because that's the most thing I talk about here on our program, but it could be any type of sport. If you want to go, you want to play in the next level, get the film you need. Have people recording, have your parents recording, have your friends recording you. Whatever you do, yeah, you got to ball out. There's no way around that. You got to ball out. But you need social media. You got to get your clips up there. You got to show people when they come visit you. You got to speak well. Don't grow up in the old phase where you're kind of walking around. Dress right, dress appropriate, be a man of your word. They want to see people that are good people, getting good grades, obviously. That just shows character, right? Yeah, maybe you don't have the best grades. Your focus point is on football heavily or sports heavily. So your mind is so dedicated to that game, not just, you're a player athlete, you're a student athlete. So the whole point is, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people right now are missing the boat. You have to really prepare for this and get your game tape out all over the place and continue to post on social media and build that up, because that's the new era. It is what it is. It's the new era. You want to show up, you want to play on one of these teams on Saturdays, and you want to walk around college campuses and come through that tunnel. You better get all your clips on social media, because college coaches are studying all of that, and they're seeing your social media. So don't upload some stupid pictures. Don't upload you doing something dumb. Don't do other people are doing, some guys, uploading pictures, holding a gun in a picture. Don't do any of that. Focus, play hard, upload good content, be a good person, be a student athlete, be good to your peers, be someone that your coaching staff talks highly about, be someone that your other teachers talk highly about, right? And you'll have a great opportunity. If you want more information on that, reach out to me. I do have a lot of contacts with college coaches, a lot of people you should be doing. If I can help you in any kind of way, reach out on all social media and contact me there, here on YouTube, or also any other social media platform. Moving on to a conversation, I want to talk about Bronny James. Was he forced to grow up too fast? I think this is really important to talk about today, because obviously, even LeBron said, hold on a minute, he's just a kid, right? Like, he's getting pushed in certain directions, and people are like, wait, he's just a kid. The truth is, Bronny James in college now, right? But I got to tell you, if I had my son growing up and he was on playing for USC or going to one of these major programs, and people are like, oh, Bronny's not that good. Oh, Bronny is that good. Oh, wait, no, Bronny's not that good, right? It's like back and forth, and Bronny's like, hold on a minute. He's just a kid. Pull the picture up, Howard, behind there. And people are like, well, at the end of the day, let me see if I have another look. I might not have it on there. Or do I have a reaction? I have to check. Howard, do we have a reaction on there, or is it just a image here of Bronny? I have to check on here and see if I have it. But at the end of the day, what I'm looking at right now, is a player that, in LeBron James, and a player in Bronny James, where they're trying to make sacrifices, make commitments and say, look, I can play the game, I can do it. But LeBron's like, look, you grew up, you're my kid. Everyone knows who you are, right? Everybody knows who you are. So the problem is, they're like, yeah, he can play. Oh no, he can't play. So the next day, people they'll either hate on you, or they'll say, look, he's never going to make it in the NBA. He's not going to be a high-level talent. He's nothing like LeBron James. Can you imagine just being compared all the time to your dad? Like, literally every day. Oh, he's nothing like LeBron. Yeah, no shit. LeBron's the best player of all time, arguably behind Michael Jordan. Sorry, and it's like, what I want to say is, he's just so, okay, we're in reaction, Howard, reaction 2, reaction 3. You can say it. Let me see if I have it on here. There we go. Cool. So look, here's the thing. Did he grow up too fast? Right? Like, is he in the spotlight? Of course. But is it just like, well, give him some time to grow? Well, he's already there. It's showtime, right? You're going to play in the NBA? It's showtime. And he had to grow up quick behind his dad. People are watching him. He's at every game. High school, they're watching him. He never had a chance to really be a kid. I mean, he had a great upbringing, obviously. LeBron James taking him all over the world. He probably seen more things than everybody will ever see in their life, because his dad was LeBron James. But the truth is, probably had to grow up too fast, right? Probably had to do so many things. The spotlight, the media, even social media attention, people you talk to, people you date, the way of your lifestyle. It's kind of publicized a lot. So he's got no room for error is what I'm getting at. He's got no margin for error. Like if he doesn't ball out every single game, and I've said this too, and I've seen it, I'm like, wow, he only scored 2 points in that game. Like, yeah, he only scored 2 points. I don't know anybody that's scoring 2 points in college basketball games going to the NBA. Like literally, I haven't seen anybody scoring 2 points or 4 points in an entire college basketball game. And you're like, I'm going to the NBA. I'm not saying he's not good. He's a great talent. But when you don't put up numbers game in and game out, and your dad is LeBron James, there's going to be some concerns there, right? I mean, it's just obvious. There's going to be some concerns there. And he was forced to grow up a lot faster than most people because his dad's LeBron James is in the media. But moving on to the next conversation and topic, this is important. Tristan Thompson takes on a big responsibility. Obviously, Tristan Thompson was in the social media light with Kardashians, obviously with Khloe and all this too. He was a great basketball player, great talent. Played for the Cavaliers, great guy. But here's the thing. I believe he has a younger brother, and the mom passed away. I believe his name's Amiri. And here's the thing. He's actually taken a big responsibility to raise him now because they lost the mother. Howard, the picture's behind here, I believe. And here's the thing. That's the younger brother there, right? And there's the mom. She passed away. Now, he's taking on the responsibility to raise this kid. I mean, literally raise this kid. And I'm just like, it's a difficult thing because here, I'm going to pull it up. People don't really understand this. He's got an illness, a disability, can't do things on his own. And I think this is important to light up because every day we talk about kind of sports highlights and all kind of craziness, and it's great. And, you know, NFL, the NBA, there's all kinds of, there's positive stuff, there's negative stuff, there's stuff that's in the limelight. But this is kind of important, right? Like this is the younger brother, the guy who didn't have a chance to do things for himself. And Tristan Thompson stepped up in a big way. And I believe Khloe Kardashian is right there being super helpful. But can you imagine, like you're playing in the NBA, you got your life paved out for you, still young, doing great things, living life great, you lose your mom, and then you control the life of a younger brother, which I think is phenomenal. Very difficult, and that's why I put on here, he's got, in the lower third here, you'll see I have on here, Tristan Thompson takes on a big responsibility because this is a big responsibility. You're not living the life that you're living with someone that's this disabled. That's just the truth. Like you're helping them, you're feeding them, you're taking them to doctor's appointments probably frequently. You're doing a lot of things with them for the family atmosphere. And I believe Khloe, you see in the picture, is stepping in, helping out. Maybe they come together and do something great for him. But this will forever change Tristan's, Thompson's lifestyle. He's taking it on full time to be the guardian, basically the father figure of the guy's life after losing a mother. And this is a pretty big role and big time shoes to fill. And I just got to say that hats off to him. I think he did an awesome job by doing this. Obviously, he has the financial ability to do it. I just think my hats off to him for taking that role. I'm sure he'll have tons of help and all that, but it's just a great success. But moving on right now, we have the quote of the day, and here it is. Separation comes from preparation. And this is important. I think this is really important. And all you on here, good morning to you. Tracy, Zach, good morning to you. Candy, obviously Brittany, Starks, you're back. Thomas, you're on here. Awesome. Good to see new people on here as well. If I miss anybody, I apologize. But just good morning to all of you. And here's the thing. Separation comes from preparation. And what it means, if you're not understanding it completely, which I'm sure you probably are, but to get to the point where you separate yourself and become successful, I'm not saying separate in a bad way, just go away from people, but in order to get to where you are successful and you go, wow, I separated myself from this level and I'm at this level. And it's not just financially. It could be, where you just feel independent. It could be, in a position where you just feel happy with yourself. You're comfortable. Your lifestyle is better. And obviously your financial level comes with that. But I mean, if you think about it, you separate because you're prepared. Right? When I get on here every single day, there's certain times where I get on here, and this is the God's honest truth. I get on and it's easy, and I'm rocking, and it's flowing, and things are going good. And there's times I get on here and I go, shit, I could have prepared a hell of a lot better than I just did. Right? Because if you're not prepared, right, I can't separate myself. I can't be one of the best on here when I'm live announcers or building a sports show if I don't have preparation to be successful. Right? So to separate yourself, start preparing. So if anything you're getting started now, I always do this end of our show to keep a motivational light as you move forward into today. I hope all of you are having a good start to your day on a Tuesday, but just for now on, start preparing yourself, right? That's the starting block of this, because that will separate you from a lot of people right now and start getting you to that next level as you move on. But I got to thank all of you for joining us today, live on the show every day at 10 o'clock. We do have a live guest. I believe he's scheduled for Friday, coming on MMA, and I believe there's also one on Thursday. We may do just a full-time show with a fighter going over his fight coming up. I think you guys will love that. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're watching this right now, hit the like button and subscribe. We have a lot of trades coming up, NFL trades, NBA things, and all the other sports. But I do appreciate all of you tuning in here. And remember, as I pull it up again, here is the quote of the day: separation comes from preparation. So make sure you're prepared today on Tuesday. Enjoy, get through it, because tomorrow's hump day and the week's moving past very quickly. I will see you guys first thing tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time.